When people think about the history of economics, the same names usually come up. Adam Smith, Karl Marx, maybe Aristotle. But now let me tell you something that's a real curveball. Nearly 1,000 years ago, before capitalism existed, before central banks, before anyone had books saying this is how markets work, a Muslim scholar made a warning that feels like he was watching today's financial crises. He said, when money breaks away from morality, society rots from the inside. That sounds bold, yes. But what I'm about to tell you makes you think we're still watching the same movie. Picture this scene. It's around the year 1100. Europe is fragmented and poor, still trying to recover. But the Islamic world is in a completely different place. A vast region stretching from Al-Andalus to Persia. Cities like Baghdad, Damascus, and Cairo are wealthy and crowded. Trade routes are alive. Caravans carry silk, spices, textiles, and silver. Markets are full. And on top of that, the intellectual world is strong. Philosophy, law, medicine, astronomy, everything is being discussed. And right in the middle of that speed and change, Al-Ghazali appears. Abu Hamid al-Ghazali. Reducing him to just a religious scholar is, in my opinion, a big mistake. Because this man sees that money isn't only a tool for buying and selling. He sees how money changes people, how it shapes society. Al-Ghazali is born in 1058 in Persia and rises quickly. By his mid-30s, he's teaching in the most prestigious circles of his time. But the main point isn't his status. The main point is this. He doesn't just accept the status quo. While everything looks shiny on the outside, he senses that something is starting to decay on the inside. And he asks a simple but heavy question. What happens when a civilization becomes rich faster than it becomes wise? And the place he looks for answers is money itself. Because Al-Ghazali's view is this. Money is not the goal, it's the tool. Not something to worship, not something for status. He even compares money to a mirror. A mirror isn't valuable by itself. It only reflects. Money is the same. It doesn't get its value from being gold or silver, but from enabling people to trade, produce, and build cooperation. First, hoarded money is dead money. If money isn't circulating, it's not doing anything. It's not reaching workers. It's not reaching production. It's not moving through trade. Think of it like the blood circulation of society. When the blood doesn't flow, the system clogs. People get squeezed not because resources are gone, but because circulation is blocked. Prices distort and markets become unstable. Second, speculation destroys trust. People who manipulate prices, create artificial shortages, and chase profit during crises. He doesn't call them smart. He calls it moral decay. Because it's profit without producing value. It's making money from someone else's hardship. And once this becomes normal, it spreads into the market, into institutions, then into society as a whole. Here's an important detail. Al-Ghazali is not anti-trade. He's not saying profit is bad. He says earning money can be fine, wealth can be fine, but it has to be honest. Money gained through cheating, lying, using false weights, hiding defects, or withholding information. He sees that as the thing that collapses the market from the inside. Because his core sentence is this: markets run on trust. If trust disappears, the economy follows. In the medieval world, rulers sometimes couldn't cover their budgets, so they reduced the purity of coins. They lowered the gold or silver content. The coin looks the same, but it's hollowed out. You can think of it like hidden inflation today. Al-Ghazali sees this plainly as theft, because it breaks trust. It hits the poor the hardest. It damages the whole system from top to bottom. The state's job is to protect justice and protect the market, not to play with money for short-term gain. And he makes another warning. If the state does this often, people will abandon their own money. They'll turn to a currency they see as stronger. Today, in some places, people flee local currencies and move to others. Same logic. Al-Ghazali's biggest emphasis comes down to this. The economy stands not because of money, but because of trust. That's why he says, a society can survive poverty, but it cannot survive corruption. Because corruption starts at the top. If it starts at the top, it spreads downward. If rulers cheat, merchants start seeing cheating as normal. If institutions aren't honest, individuals say, why should I be honest? And a chain reaction of distrust forms. At that point, money stops being a mechanical thing. It becomes a belief system. And when people stop believing, the system stops working. When you look at today, the echoes of Al-Ghazali's ideas are easy to hear. Debates about inequality, crisis profiteers, speculation, declining trust in institutions, anxiety about protecting purchasing power. Everything sits on the same foundation. Al-Ghazali's message is actually very simple. If money separates from morality, the system breaks somewhere. And that breaking doesn't start because the numbers didn't add up. It starts when people stop trusting each other. Maybe the most striking part is this. 1,000 years have passed. Technology has changed. Markets have accelerated. But people have stayed the same. And Al-Ghazali's warning is still standing in the same place. If this gave you a new perspective, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss what's next.